Welcome to Storymapr. This video is going to cover how to use the AI suggestion tool in the Story Manager. Let's get started. To create a story, go to the top bar and click on Stories, and then you will see all the stories you already created. If you haven't created a story yet, please go to the New Story button in the top right corner. I will go into my office stories that I already set up. And here you see the Story Manager, and every story consists of several scenes that you connect with arrows. The typical way to create these scenes would be you click on the plus scene or the plus next scene button, and then you type in a title, a description, the characters, a location, or the dialogue that you want to connect, and then you click add scene and create your scenes. I did that already, so I created a few scenes here, and I'm telling a story about Sarah and Phil that work in the same company, and Sarah is showing Phil something on her computer, and then Phil is asking Sarah out for dinner, but she's a little hesitant and doesn't know if to say yes or no. So maybe now you're at a point where like, I don't really have an idea how to go further with my story, or it would be great to just get some help and just to get some ideas. So what you do in this case is you click on your last note, and then you can use the suggest scene button, what is in the end the AI tool, and if you click on it, it will help you to come up with some ideas, and it will suggest some scenes. So in this case it came up with 2 ideas, and let's see what it did. The first one is Sarah is waiting for Phil in the bar. She's a bit nervous. Phil walks in and they have dinner together. They talk about different things and laugh a bit. Okay, not bad. Let's see the other one. This is the next day. Sarah tells Phil in the office that she could have dinner with him if he wants to. Phil is surprised and happy. Okay, so the AI tool came up with these 2 suggestions. They're pretty good. And yeah, now it's totally up to you what you do with it. So you could, for example, say, I don't really like that first suggestion, so you just get rid of it. You just click the X button, you delete it, that's it. But maybe you're saying, okay, this idea is actually pretty good. I like it, so you keep it. And then you just double click on it and go back in. And then it's still completely up to you what you do with it. It's really about you taking the AI suggestions and then kind of putting them together with your own ideas. So you could go in here and just maybe add something to it. You don't have to keep it like it is, right? So you can say, Phil is surprised and happy. The next day, he's calling Sarah and asks if she wants to have Mexican food, whatever you want. Then also down here you would put in the characters again, because that's the tool is not doing that, and the location. Let's just say office 2, and you say update scene, and voila, you have another suggestion. So let's go ahead and do it again. I'm clicking on this last note. I have to save. Don't forget to save. You can also put in the autosave here. So I click the suggest scene button. The AI will take a few moments to gather all the information, and let's see what it did. It came up with 3 ideas this time, and I will read them to you. Sarah and Phil are happily eating tasty Mexican food. They laugh, talk, and watch the football game. Sarah and Phil are going to this Mexican restaurant. Sarah is very excited. She's not very good at controlling herself. She kind of spills her beer. She's very nervous. And the third one, Sarah likes the idea of having Mexican food. She tells Phil to pick her up at her place at 8 p.m. They are going to meet at her apartment. Cool. So the AI tool came up with these ideas, and you see the last note was about the idea of having Mexican food. So now the AI tool really took this information into consideration and came up with some ideas about around this Mexican food. And so now again, you could say, okay, I don't like that one, I delete it, I don't want it, but I'm keeping these 2. And you can go in, changing things. Maybe instead of spilling her beer, she's spilling her soda. So whatever you want, make your changes, put in your characters again, location. Maybe now you would have to create a location that is called Mexican restaurant. Obviously I don't have that yet, but I could do that as a next step. And yeah, so from now you can go on creating your story. You could also now as a next step just create your own scene, not based on the AI suggestion. You would click plus scene and now you could write your own description. All right. They are watching football and talking about what they could do next weekend. So you can completely combine the AI suggested notes with your own idea. So now that's my own idea. I just connect it with an arrow and voila, we go from here. One thing to note is maybe that the AI tool bases its information or the suggestions on all the information you put in so far. So the information are based on all the descriptions you put in these scenes, plus all the information you give about the connected characters. So in this case, I connected Sarah and Phil. So the description I gave about Sarah and Phil in the character page are also taken into consideration. So please make sure to put in a description that is as detailed as possible, because the more information you give it, the better will be the ideas it comes up with. Yeah, so if you just put in like 2 scenes here and ask the AI tool to come up with a scene, it might not be completely accurate to what you actually want. So make sure to give it a little bit more of information. Yeah, but then it can really be fun, and it's really up to you to just play around with the suggest scene button and see what the AI comes up with. You can always delete it or edit it or whatever you want. And yeah, I hope you're having fun with that. I hope that helps, and talk to you soon.